Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of the Inside Agents. My name is Maggie and Tim, and of course, I'm joined by my amazing co host, Nate Matthews. Today, we have a lot to talk about, we have a lot to discuss, and thanks for tuning into another episode of the Inside Agents Football. Nate, take it away.
Thanks, Maggie. So, the first topic, I'm going to dive right into it. We're going to discuss Champions League. After we discuss Champions League, we're going to go into the European outlook on North American players after Alfonso Davies performed so well in the Champions League final. Then we're going to go into discuss the agents' outlook and transfers. And then after that, we're going to go into current events and summarize what's going on with NWSL. So, first topic, Maggie, Champions League, the final. How did you feel about it?
Um, I, watching it, I felt like it was going to be a great game, right? It's two great teams coming in here and they were going to kill it. I felt like they both could have done more, especially watching them play in the semifinals against other teams and seeing how, they were scoring well, at least for Bayern Munich, to see how they were putting up numbers. So I was hoping they were going to do that in this final, but that really wasn't happening for the first half. Um, I was crushed because I wanted PSG to get it, of course. But I also felt like to see two young teams come together, it's like Bayern Munich has been on fire. So has PSG. But listen, Bayern Munich, they have been on fire with Davies, Alaba, Boateng, like, their whole squad. It's like it was
Yeah,
just a better team. And they bought it more, honestly. They did that second half, they kind of came in and was like, I'm gonna bring it. Which is why in the end they ended up winning. But I feel like with PSG, they're still a great team. And for some of those players like Mbappe, there's so much more, right? Because he's so young. So it's like there's a lot more finals that you have. Even the same thing for Davies and the rest of those guys. Um, but I thought it was an interesting game. I wanted to see PSG do more. It just seemed like everything that they were doing, it just wasn't hitting. But once again, congratulations to Bayern Munich. They deserve that. And those guys, I mean, I've seen a couple of images on social. Like, looks like Alfonso and David are like hanging out somewhere in a
yeah,
beautiful place.
yeah,
Like, I'm so jealous because I'm like, man, we can't even, us being in America, it's like we can barely even have that type of excitement. But I'm excited, for all those guys and just really happy for all of them, both sides, PSG and Bayern Munich. But Bayern Munich, enjoy it, while you can, and just get back. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to come back refreshed and have that same energy. So,
yeah.
because PSG is going to bring it. Know that they will rework. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna
Yeah,
reset and come
I
back. So
agree. And me personally, I liked the game. I thought honestly we would see more goals just based on the way the teams played in the semifinals, and we know
you
that.
predicted Bayern Munich too. You
Yeah,
predicted that they would come out like either 2-1 or like 2-0.
the only reason why is because I felt Bayern Munich. One, they're the only team they did not lose a single game this season in Champions League, which is very
Yep.
hard. So if you
Yep.
go that far and you don't lose, you're definitely gonna win in the final. Also, I
Exactly.
think that like I said before, I think PSG had the best two players on the pitch. And
Hmm.
even if you look at Neymar and you look at Mbappe, the chances that they had on another day they're gonna score and they could have easily won 3-1. On their day, they're gonna score three or four or five of the chances that they had. Um, like we said, like Killian's young. This is his first Champions League final that he played in. So there's a lot of pressure that goes on to also being one of the best players in the world at such a young age. So I think that this is a good learning curve for him. He's going to take it and it's going to teach him. You learn more from your losses than your wins.
Oh,
He
yeah.
has he's a World Cup champion already, so
Trust.
like
He's
there's
coming back. Yeah. It's
so
like I mean, like
I like that
he's
exactly
accomplished so much at just the
already.
age of 21. He's accomplished so much. So that's why it's like, to me, I wasn't worried about it. I'm like, man, he's got so much more. I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
hurts, of course, but he's got a lot
Also,
more in store.
exactly, and also I would say Neymar. he struggled. He struggled, and I think it was Neymar's one of those players who needs to be on the ball and he needs to make something happen. But it
Mm-hmm.
just seemed like he was trying to overplay and overcompensate and try
Yeah.
to do too much, which that's the type of player he is. So that's what we expect of him. But he
Yeah.
just had an off day, and Bayern Munich was the better overall team, player for player. But PSG had the superstars. I'm telling you, if the superstars get those chances again that they had, they're definitely going to score them. They're
Oh yeah, for
definitely going to
sure, for
put
sure.
at,
Like,
at
let
least
it
one of them
let
away.
it be like a rematch next year or something like that, right? Like,
Exactly.
just let it be a rematch between those two teams, and you'll see the difference. You'll definitely see the
Definitely,
difference between those
definitely
two
see the
clubs
difference.
for
I'm
sure. But
also gonna
definitely congratulations to Bayern
exactly
Munich again.
congratulations. And let's just off of this, I'm just gonna talk about the Canadian Alfonso. Congrats to him because 19 years old, Champions League winner. His story is so crazy when you think about just where he's come from. Because many people don't know this about Alfonso, but he has been with the Canadian national team forever, and he was never one of their star players or one of their prospects growing up. He never was. Big shout out to Vancouver Whitecaps for taking care of him and fostering the development of him as a player, because there are a lot of MLS academies who have talented players, but they never give them the first team opportunity. And Alfonso is the example of, hey, if you play a player and you let him develop with your first team, this is what they can become. So it's opened a lot of doors for North American players. I would say that they should always keep their head up and continue to knock on the doors. And also, MLS clubs need to open their eyes and look and be like, wow, well, look how far Alfonso came. Maybe we have one or two players in our academy that we need to push forward, and he could become one of the best in the world. Not even the best in North America. Not even like he's probably the best right. I mean, left back in the world, which is crazy when you think of 2 years of development where he just came to Bayern Munich and he came and he was training with the second team. He wasn't even with the first team, and he doesn't. I know people who know him personally, and it's a hard adjustment not knowing the German language. Anyone who's been to Munich knows it's not a major city. It's not like Paris. It's not like London. The German cities are a lot smaller and more tight knit. So it's hard for you to do things like entertainment wise outside of just being a football player, which also could be good for him because he had to just focus on football. So congrats to him. And as an agent, my phone has been going off since because a lot of people are trying to find those hidden gems.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Alfonso, for that because
Mm-hmm.
because
Because
requests for
they're
defenders.
like, listen, send me all the Canadian players that you have right now. I mean, and it's not even just Canadian, right? But like North American, like you said about MLS, paying attention to the academy. I think that's something that you and I, we just have those regular conversations all the time about the talent that's right here in North America, in Canada, and it's like, is MLS paying attention? If I'm MLS, I'm not trying to always just go and get a player from Europe. There's nothing wrong with that. However, there's some great talent that's here in America that if we stopped and take a look, even from the academies, but even down to like the college level, like, those players that were probably a part of an academy growing up and then they crossed over to go to university, get their education, and then want to advance to the pro level. I'm still making that investment in those guys, especially if they're still young, between that certain age group, because you just never know. You never know. And so, um, the story of Alfonso Davies is definitely historic, and
He
I
definitely won't be the last either. He
right,
won't be the last.
exactly. He won't be the last. There'll be a lot more. Um, but once again, man, he's definitely, yeah, he's definitely set some history there, and it's good. It's a good look. Hmm. But then I wonder, like, who gets the credit for that?
Exact. See, that's another thing. So, also, other people who don't know this about Alfonso Davies or who have not followed MLS, he started off as a left winger, like right winger, cutting in on his left foot because he was very skillful in MLS. But we all know MLS in Europe's a different level. So, what I was told is that when he went there, he was just making a lot of mistakes in the training sessions, not even games, but in training
When he went
sessions.
to Europe?
Yeah, when he went to Bayern Munich, his first couple of weeks there, he was making a lot of mistakes technically on the ball, which when like I've seen it before when I brought players to Europe. They play certain positions in North America, but then when you go to Europe, it's a completely different game.
Oh yeah,
And you definitely the athleticism of Alfonso and the work rate, and he's still technical. He's still a very technical player, but him playing left back suits him a lot more. And I think Bayern did a good job by not giving up on him and saying, "Hey, these are some top qualities we see in this player. Maybe we should move him to the back." Where as opposed to maybe if he stayed in MLS, we know they would have kept him as a winger, and we saw what he did in MLS with all the step overs. So he was a top player, but it's like his ceiling there could only go so far. But him as a left back, like we said, he's one of the best in the world. So it's good that maybe coaches take another look at certain players that they have, and they're like, oh well, he has these top qualities. Maybe we should try him here, try him there, like move him around. So I think that overall, in general, like I said, he's not going to be the last player. He's one of the first who's going to open eyes, and a lot of scouts and a lot of clubs that I know have reached out to me. I'm sure they've reached out to many other people just trying to find those next stars from North America.
oh yeah,
And for sure, like I'm also thankful because this is just going to push a lot of Canadian soccer and soccer players
absolutely.
can believe like, wow, like there's actually a player who's played in the MLS at an academy here, moved up, went to Europe, and won Champions League of
And
all.
we have another player doing the same thing. Well, similar, Jonathan.
Yeah, exactly. And Jonathan David's out
Yeah,
there.
Jonathan
He just
David
signed
as
with
well. So that's a
Leo.
good look too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a very good look because that's showing like okay, that's two guys right there. So that means it's definitely possible. And I think you know this too, especially just being Canadian and being in Canada with those players. Like I just I hope that the coaches there are like really instilling that in these players' minds that it is possible. Because we're seeing that it's not just Alfonso, it's not just Jonathan, but there's more. There's more talent. We've seen it even with some of the younger kids that have gone on to sign with like TFC and
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited. Listen, I'm excited. As soon as this pandemic clears away, I'll make my way to Canada. Canada's like another home for me, so
Oh yeah,
I'll definitely gonna be out
yeah.
there and
We
scoping
have
out some
big
talent,
business to
right?
do here. We have some big
Yes,
business to do.
absolutely, 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 absolutely.
Yeah. So no, next saga. Since we're talking about Champions League, Barcelona. What happened to them in the semifinals, leading
Mm,
to Lionel Messi saying that he
mm.
wants to leave the club? His boyhood club. Messi's been there since he was 8 years old. We all know the story of Messi and how Barcelona had to sign his contract on a napkin. They did not want to leave that bad. If you guys heard our other episodes, you've heard that boot deals from Iniaki was saying in Argentina and Brazil, they're signing players at like the young age of 12.
Yeah,
So for them to scout Messi in Argentina, sign him, decide that they're going to pay for all of his medication because we know Messi had growth development issues. And now, after the embarrassment, it was an embarrassment. Bayern Munich spanked Barcelona. I haven't seen a game like that since Germany played Brazil in the World Cup and won 7-2. So to see that game and just watch Lionel Messi just look hopeless, and Barcelona looked like they didn't have a way out of their short passing. They didn't want to play long. They were very arrogant, and Bayern Munich took advantage of it and destroyed them. And then also Messi was in his prime between the ages of 28. He's now 32 and hasn't even played in a Champions League final. And we
was he
know Ronaldo
33? Yeah, he's
has
33
won
now.
exactly, and Ronaldo has won 3 in the last 5, 6 years. So that battle alone, Messi just finds frustration. Where do you think he's going to end up?
So Messi's a cancer, just like me, and we're very passionate. We tend to be emotional, but most of us show our emotions in different ways. When I watched that match, I don't think it was that he looked hopeless. It was like I've exhausted all my options.
Yeah, exactly.
And now when the announcement came out about him, leaving, a lot of people are like, oh, he can't do that because of the clause in his contract. And I'm like, well, then you guys know nothing about contracts. Leave that to the agents and the lawyers to deal with these contracts. Because in case you don't know, with the pandemic and even the clause that he had, obviously Messi had a certain type of clause, a special clause, if you want to call it, for special people, I guess, like him and Ronaldo, and a couple of those other big guys have those specific clauses in which he can, obviously opt to be transferred or leave during a certain time, but it has to be, I think it
Within that
was
time frame. It was
within a
June.
time frame like
They
June
said it
30th,
for,
basically,
yeah.
no later than June. And obviously, no one knows. He may have voiced that back in May, but because of COVID and trying to figure out everything with the global pandemic, that is why it could still be a clause that it's that they're still gonna look at. Some people are like, oh no, they can't because it's past the season. I'm like, are you crazy? They've moved back everything, and that is why a lot of people's contracts, different clauses. That's why they've had attorneys working nonstop. I know one of my attorneys was working nonstop on, those specific clauses, because that's what you're gonna have, and that's what's happening right now. And he's a prime example. So, I think where he's gonna end up. I mean, I know that connection with Pep, you know, and being coached under him, and wanting to possibly do that to end maybe the last few years of his career. Um, I think it would be interesting for him to go to Man City. But then the question I have is, where's Man City going to get the money to cover that? Because especially dealing with the financial woes that they have been dealing with, the
Yeah.
financial situation with the whole, UEFA thing and all of that, I'm wondering where they're going to get this money from. Um, I'm hearing rumors about him coming to MLS, but I just don't see it. I don't
Yeah.
see
No,
it,
no, that's
nor
not.
I don't see it. And if I were Messi's agent, I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do it because there's no need. His playing style and MLS, no, no, no.
Not even.
Now, if
It's
he does go to Man City, that would be crazy for the Premier League, because we all know the Premier League is number one. It's the top of the top. It's the best of the best.
and those fans would have their questions answered. Can Messi
Man,
do it in the Premier League? Because this
listen.
whole Ronaldo Messi debate has been
But
Messi
hold on
stayed in
now,
Barcelona.
because if he goes to, let's say he goes to Man City, what does that look like for players like Sterling?
I mean, for Sterling, I think Sterling's good because he's right-footed, and they're gonna have to
Yeah.
figure it out. I think for players like, for instance, if Leroy Sané stayed and he's left-footed and he plays on
Well,
the
Sane
right
left,
side,
right?
yeah, exactly. If
Sane
Sané
left.
was still there, if I'm Sané's agent, I'm saying, hey, we got to move you. Honestly, because when Lionel Messi
Yeah, because he
decided he wanted
already.
to play,
Yeah, Sane. Well,
he
no, Sane moved already. He's
yeah
at
he moved. He's at
I
Bayern.
forget what club. Yeah, he's at Bayern. So
Exactly. So that Bayern team next year is also going to be very, very powerful because you have Serge
true.
Gnabry, Kingsley Coleman, Lewandowski. Now you
Listen,
add Son.
man, and the
That
Kingsley situation with the PSG situation, I'm like, damn, that come back full circle, man. It
it
comes back
does.
full circle.
Does.
So I don't know. I mean, if Messi goes to Man City, that would be crazy. But and I think we've talked about this before, about the possibility of the brand like Adidas coming in and maybe even working to say we'll get you at Man United,
And we'll
which
give
would
you a
be
crazy signing bonus. Yes.
crazy.
So so I've heard that what City's trying to do three things. They're trying to do three things because we know the Etihad Group owns Manchester City and they also own New York City FC.
Yep.
So they were working out. I've heard a 5-year deal, which 3 years Messi spends at Man City and then he automatically transfers to New York City FC, which he'll
Huh.
be 35, 36 at the time.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't see the New York market fitting Messi's lifestyle the way
No.
Messi is. I
Nope.
don't see it at all.
I
But
don't see his
from
family.
the
I
business
don't see
side
his
of it,
family moving to New York. I don't see it.
yeah, I don't see it. They're not a New York style family. I see them more of LA because it's more
That's what I was just
quiet
about to say
there.
too.
You can
Yep.
relax
I
there.
see LA. People were saying even Florida, but I'm like, no,
Nah,
no.
I
I,
don't. I
I,
don't
I see
see
him more with LA, because I think also too it all depends on the next phase of his career, right?
exactly.
We know Messi is a person that just focuses on football, but don't get it twisted. Business wise, he has some good things happening, but when you think about it, it's like even putting him in Man City, it's great because it still has him next to London, so there's a lot of things he can
Yeah,
do, and then
hop on that
depending
2 hour
and
train.
depending
You're there.
on and depending on where his mindset is in terms of like, okay, I'm slowly but surely reaching that point where with my career, I'm trying to figure out what's next. I mean, Messi is always one of those players that like, I even said, man, if I were working with him, he'd be doing a lot. But he's
Exactly.
a guy who's so focused on football, but it's like, it's okay because I'd focus on the business side and make sure everything else is good while you're doing what you're doing, and being the goat that you are. But yeah, to me it's Man City. If it's not Man City, possibly Man United, only because of the Adidas angle.
Exactly.
um but with Man City, I'm still trying to figure out where they're gonna get that money from. So that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure out.
I
If
I
if a deal does happen, I'm
expect to
looking on
see
the
a
back
player
end
swap deal. I expect to see 5 players leave City and
to go
them
to.
also money to Barca for also money. If I'm
How much
Barcelona
you
and
think?
I want to,
How much you think he would go for?
so the most recent report I read was they were offering Gabriel Jesus, Bernardo Silva, and Garcia plus a hundred million for Messi.
Sheesh.
I I think what's it, Gabriel Jesus, his transfer market, he's worth $80 million. Bernardo Silva, he's a little older, but he's also Portuguese, so that
Yep.
somewhat helps. And
Yep.
then Luis Garcia, we all know he came from the Barcelona academy and said he wants to go back to Barca.
Yep. So
So
that wouldn't
plus
be too bad.
100 million euros to doesn't hurt City's bank as much. Plus, they get a lot of those players off the wage bill. So with financial
Absolutely.
fair play, that does work. Now I also read that Barca, since we all know Barca sacked their manager told Luis Suarez that he's no longer their number one. So that's a spot for Gabriel Jesus to fit in right away and start. Bernardo Silva, we all know, is left-footed like Messi, so he could play on the left side and replace Messi. Luis Garcia, we know, is a center back, and we know Barcelona's center back problems have been there for years, and they got exposed by Bayern. So it seems like a good fit. We all know Sergio Aguero's Messi's son's godfather. We all know that. We know Messi played his best football under Pep. So I don't think it's far fetched to imagine
Hmm.
going to Manchester City. There's been all these rumors and reports that he already agreed personal terms. His dad's there. Then the next rumor is no, that hasn't happened. We know how football
I
rumors
haven't
are.
begun to call any of my contacts on both sides. I mean, I think with Barker, it was just to confirm like if that was
Yeah,
real. So that's why, like, for the people that follow me on social, when I tweeted about it, yeah, it's because like I knew, you know, like something at least, or but I wasn't trying to like put out what the rumors were
what
in
is
terms
fake
of like
rumors? It's like
whether
this is
he's
a
going to
fact.
like Man City and stuff like that. Like that, I know nothing about.
Yeah,
I'm just watching like everybody else to see what's gonna happen. But I think it would be good for him. It's a new start. It's something different. And it's not too far. It's still, it's still within Europe, and it's a great. One thing about Manchester, it's just a great city. It's a great city. It's not far from London once again, so there's a lot
exactly.
that can happen there.
And also, it's quiet. Like Manchester seems like a city for Messi. I can't see Messi in
Yes.
London with his family, but I could see him in
Well, he would be
Manchester.
on like on the outskirts of London.
Exactly.
He'd be on the outskirts, but yeah, Manchester is a good place for him, and I think he would do well. I think he would do well. I think the team, yeah, it'd be crazy. Let me tell you something. The Premier League would
Kevin De
be
Bruyne with Lionel
insane.
Messi and Raheem Sterling to play
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
mind blowing.
yeah.
That's a Kevin De Bruyne's dream, is to play with someone
Of
like
course.
Messi, and then you
Yep.
have
So
Raheem on the
so
other
that's.
side.
I mean, listen. They're gonna at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they have to do to get him. And if that means he's going to Man City, that's gonna be crazy. And I'm for it. I can honestly say I'm for it. If he opts to not go to Man City and he opts to go somewhere else, I don't know if he'd do too well in Italy. I don't.
Thing is, yeah, the thing is, Messi's gonna do Messi wherever, but I don't see him fitting into the Italian playing style. That's it.
Exactly.
I
That's why.
don't see
That's
it.
why for me, it's Man City or Man United. Period. It's one of the two. Man City definitely because of Pep. So that relationship he does
Yeah,
well. He has played very well under Pep. So I like that move to
yeah,
just get rid of the dead weight that you don't need on the team. You know what I'm saying? No shade to the
exactly.
players, but you know
Anyone's dead
basically
weight
work
compared to
it.
Messi. Let's think about it.
I
Anyone's
mean,
dead weight.
not anyone, but just work it out to
Most.
where, yeah, work it out to where Sterling and Kevin, they're good to play with Messi, and because really and truly that's what you really gonna need anyway, the three of them, because Messi being there is gonna make the other two guys even better because they're great players
Exactly.
now. So him being there, that like that addition, it's gonna be insane. So we'll that's something that we just have to all keep our ears
Monaco.
open to. We'll hear something soon, hopefully. We'll hear
Yes.
something soon for sure.
Speaking of Italy, Maggie, let's touch on the American who is in Turin right now.
Oh
Weston
man,
McKennie. That is a
man,
shock. And
man.
we literally, before we recorded this episode, we just talked about how we saw his agent there with him.
Yeah,
Literally 5 minutes before we started recording, we see
yeah.
the video reports, and right next to him is
His
Corey.
agent.
So,
Yep.
congrats,
I
Corey.
tried to
Good
text
luck.
Corey too because I wanted to find out like what's the deal, but I was like I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna
Find
wait
out, hey Corey.
because they're on like a
If
six
he does not
hour.
quarantine for the 14 days, I want to report
They're on
it.
like a 6 hour difference, because
Yeah.
Italy is like ahead.
So
So
it's
I'm
like
like I'm wondering like yeah, but
9 at night. They're going to dinner, sitting down with them, trying to figure out the deal for sure. For
yeah,
sure.
but he's
But
there. He's there, so it's gonna happen, for sure.
yeah,
Because he wouldn't be there if it wasn't happening. So that's gonna be interesting.
it's gonna be, and this is another thing. North American soccer. Congrats, guys, getting these deals done. This is Weston McKennie, like we just spoke about, is gonna be playing with Cristiano Ronaldo in training sessions. That
The
is
dream.
insane. And we also know Juventus got rid of Pjanic. They brought in Arthur, but I think there's only they got rid of Matuidi because we know Matuidi went to Inter Miami, so there is space for center mids
Hmm.
to slot in
He's
that role.
younger too.
He's
He's
younger.
younger.
They have Pirlo, who's one of the best center mids in the world, in the history of football, as their manager. So Weston's going to learn a lot there. Good move overall for him. Congrats. I'm excited to see. We were talking about the structure of that, whether it's going to be the 3 million for the loan and then they buy him afterwards, or is it going to be an outright purchase? We haven't heard as of yet. These are just rumors. I haven't.
Yeah, we don't know anything. Well, I mean, I know what I saw.
Exactly. We saw no,
We saw. We saw.
we know
You
what we
know.
saw. The deal's gonna be done. It's just
Yeah.
a matter of how it's gonna get
Yeah,
done.
we don't know the full details as far as percentages and payouts and all that stuff. As far as salaries and things is concerned, transfer fees and all of that. But
Yeah,
once again, stay tuned for that
yeah. That
because
is that
something will
is
happen within the next 48 hours for sure. Something will happen.
yeah. Definitely Monday where I would expect to hear something
Absolutely.
in that regard. Very, very interesting. There have been some North American players in general. A lot of them have moved over to Germany on the academy side.
Hmm.
Congrats to Kobe. We have Brian. We have some other, just all the ones who are playing right now. They all started their preseason. We saw a couple of them with Ajax playing and with their first
Hmm.
team. So we all know Sir um, Desk has been linked with Bayern Munich as well. That would be another huge move from Ajax to Bayern. So from the North American side in soccer, it's a very exciting times. We also know that all the MLS Academy players have been back. So good luck to you guys. The MLS
Yes.
boys, the MLS Academy is going to restart. We're watching, we're planning, we're excited for it. Just waiting for the season schedule to be announced. And then let's just go into the current events since we're on the topic of MLS.